What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 933 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined today by David Bray. This chair, I need to move this chair. Look, it's right in the shot. Okay, good editing by Tyler. Look at that was so embarrassing for a moment. If you're watching on the video, it's gone now, Ben. You missed it. And Ben Askren's here. He's back from Geneva, Ohio. JD is not. He is en route, potentially. He might just stay there. You never know. I think he's coming back. I believe he'll be on Wednesday's show. But a couple new world teams have been crowned, Ben. Why don't we start there? Start with U20s, U23s. Some exciting matches, some surprising, some not surprising. What stuck out to you, Ben?
I love the U20s. It gives us a good insight into kind of, the next batch of college superstars. There was a lot of really good finals, really good mini tournaments, and then really good finals. I think only one of them went to 3, which was Singleton and Arnold, I believe.
Yes.
But Mendez came back and rectified his loss. The first one was close. The second was not so close. Buzakis kind of killed Kill Hughes, which was, interesting. We talk about Aiden Valencia and how competitive he's been at the senior level, and Aiden Valencia lost to Kill Hughes, and then Kill Hughes wasn't even slightly competitive with Nick Buzakis. 57 had guys, a lot of really good guys in there, some of which who've been doing damage at the college level. And Luke Lillidahl, still in high school, wins 2 straight against Spratling, looked really good there. So, man, I think we could just go weight by weight and talk about it. There's so many fun weight classes.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Buzakis, and I think when he has the strength advantage he has over a guy, it's just really ugly. But if you can contend with it, it can be an interesting match. And maybe Aiden would have been able to physically endure better than Kale. But man, when he attacks and can get around but when he attacks and can get around the body, he is really tough.
Yeah.
He is one of the more interesting prospects collegiately for me, because I'm just from a what are we gonna get perspective, because he's got some really brilliant moments. He's got some skills and gifts that are unique, but then he has some moments you're like, whoa, that's not but
that was a disaster. I mean, let's say the Tom Cook match this year was a disaster. He went hard and then kind of just fell apart, and people were suspecting, just nerves or something because it was his first varsity match. But yeah, I mean, he kind of got killed by Tom Crook, or maybe he was too small for the weight class.
Bro, well,
I just pulled up his wrestle stat, and he was 11-1, and the Biscaglia win's pretty solid.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Tom Crook's probably going to be a 57-pounder, maybe as soon as next year. And
what?
Really? Yeah, he's not going 41 again. That's for sure.
Come on, bro.
Oh, 100%.
57?
He's going to beat out Caleb Henson? He probably redshirt. He could redshirt this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he didn't look that big. I mean, he looked tall and lanky, but not gigantic.
He's big. And
okay.
Nick will probably never compete above 133 pounds either. So I think I think that's a little bit of it. And Tom's good, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some disastrous moments there. But yeah, that's I'm interested to see him. He was dominant against Cale Hughes, who did come out.
So what I would say, I mean, kind of just a little bit repeating what you said, is that kind of a limited skill set, but when that skill set works, people can't stop it. But if they can't stop that skill set, then he struggles to find what's next type thing. So it'll be interesting to see against some of those bigger, stronger Big Ten opponents how he manages.
Yeah. So 57 kilograms, Luke Lillidahl, we can kind of go back. He wins in 2 straight over Troy Spratley. And you had mentioned the mini tournament. There's some excitement there. Spratley had to come back against Jax Forrest. And Bo but who did Bo wrestle? Bo Bassett wrestle.
Well, I'm gonna go back to I'm not on Flow Arena yet, but yeah, it was the mini tournament was really good. Bo Bassett actually, one of the AWA guys, got a 6-0 lead, a takedown, and a couple laces, and then kind of Bassett came back on him hard and won. And then Bassett lost didn't lose to Volk.
He lost to
because
Spratley.
Forrest beat Volk in the second. He lost to Spratley. Yes, duh.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was listening to the show from last time, and you guys kind of called it with like the difference between a 4-minute match for Bassett and a 6-minute match. And even in the matches he lost to really good opponents, a lot of the points that he's picking up are in that last minute or two. And I think, just finished his freshman year of high school. So as he keeps
Yeah.
wrestling at this high level and he can figure out how to avoid giving up those early points, I think that pace is going to keep being a big factor for him.
He's tough. What were your thoughts been on Lilladal's performance against a tough Troy Spratley? And there was a world champ in this bracket as well with Jory.
I was thinking 3 world medalists between Bassett, Forrest, and Volk. So really tough bracket. No, Lilladal looked great. I thought Spratley looked really good against Jax Forrest in the mini tournament. So I thought, okay, maybe Lilladal's gonna have his hands full because I was just doing the simple algorithm of Forrest and Lilladal have been back and forth with I think Forrest getting the majority of those wins. So maybe he's in trouble against Spratley, but he's clean on his attacks. He looked really good, and his movement is really outstanding. So I thought he looked great there.
Yeah, very, very good win there for Lilladal. We mentioned Buzakis and Jesse Mendez. He had a tough road because he had to go through Webster just to get to Kasek, and kind of ran the gauntlet there.
Yeah.
What stood out to you for Jesse?
Well, the Cannon Webster, he's really good. I wonder if they're going to start him next year because he hammered Jordan Williams and Vince Cornello back to back to make the finals. I mean, that's really freaking impressive. And this bracket's so deep because it's like Jordan Williams hammered Ryder Block in the round of 16, and Ryder Block was the number 1 guy in the country for a little bit this year. I believe at 138. Mendez looked dominant all the way through. Tech. His first 3 matches, and they were I want to say they were quick. I think first period. It was nice that the U20 was on 4 mats, so you could kind of like sit at the one end and kind of watch them all. And then Mendez got up quick early against Cannon Webster. Webster did come back a little bit to make it 6-3. I think Webster's gonna be really good at the collegiate level. And then Mendez, he went down with like 14 seconds left in the first match against Kasich. I don't know if you saw this. He got, I want to say it was another push out. It was either takedown or push out to go down 3-3.
Step out. Yeah.
Oh, step out. And he got it done. He got it done with 14 seconds left, got the push out to win the match. And then, like I said, the second one wasn't quite as competitive, but that was a lot of fun. Kasich did look significantly larger than Mendez.
Yeah.
How you guys felt?
Yes, I felt like he did, but I feel like Jesse is unlocking that power at 65 that seemed like it was maybe missing at the Open. The way he gets his snaps going, like the way he's able to push people around with his underhook, even though he's does look smaller, I was super impressed by that. And he just has so many ways to score. He score from open. He can use that underhook to get where he needs to be. His snap is crazy. Like the way he got Cannon Webster at the beginning of that match, like he snapped him so hard. So I think he's getting more comfortable up at 65.
Yeah, I was wondering how much of that was the dynamic of him. He wrestles at the Open. That's just a couple weeks after NCAAs where he'd been holding 133 for months. And so he comes up to 143 and a half. Guys coming down from there, certainly. Did he just, is it as simple as he got it big enough to contend, or was it just maybe, I don't know, just needed to make some adjustments?
I don't think there's any way to grow that much within a month time period.
Ben's never taken creatine before, and it shows.
Part of me says, I mean, you can get a few pounds bigger, of course, right? But not, I mean, it's not like he got 10 pounds bigger. If he got 10 pounds bigger, he's probably getting chunky or something, which I don't think he is. Part of me says, did he take Cannon Webster a little lightly? It's like, hey, he just battled this really hard NCAA schedule, and now he's going against this high school kid. Did he maybe just not take him quite as seriously as he should have at the U.S. Open? Because, this match, he came out on fire and got up 6-0.
That would honestly surprise me because Webster, he had beaten some good guys. I know high school level, but I'm pretty sure he'd probably be on the radar. But maybe not. I don't know.
Sometimes there's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm sure I've done this at some point, but I'll tell you why it would be opposite. So, like, if I do it, maybe the guy gets a quick takedown or two. I have the gas tank and I can keep coming back. Whereas, like, even in this match, Jesse got up 6-0. And then didn't score a point in the second period. So if he takes him too lightly, maybe for the first couple of minutes, and then by the time he's like, oh, this dude's for real, like I got to scrap, then he's maybe just a little too fatigued to kind of turn it up a couple notches because he's a very explosive athlete.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, David, you mentioned he's got a lot of gifts. Him getting that point late was was interesting because JD alluded to it on the call, like that Kasich maybe scored too soon. But it was still a really nice way for him to go and get the point. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, 9-1 in that second match over a very impressive Tyler Kasich. I mean, he was one of the big stories out of the Open, him winning that bracket out of high school.
Yeah. And Kasich is going to be at Penn State next year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dang, that's going to be
It's
interesting how they fit all them dudes in the lineup.
It's going to get really interesting.
I mean, next year could be easy because he's going to redshirt, but probably in 2 years. Was Bartlett done in 2 years, actually?
Bartlett?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's only got one left.
No, he has two.
Oh,
I'll try to graduate him faster than.
Feels like he's been around forever.
Well,
that free year messes with you, man. That free year, I was just thinking about someone else the other day, and I was like, wait, they still have 3 years left or 2 years, or this is so weird.
Yeah. I look forward to the days when we're not having to crunch the numbers so hard, so often.
For real.
But yeah, he has 2 years left. And, Shane has 3.
Yep.
And he seems like he's just going to be at 49 for his career.
Yeah, feels like it. And then Mitchell's got 4, and Levi's got 3, and Facundo's got 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're bringing in Josh Barr. He obviously has all those.
And Sealy coming in too.
Mm-hmm.
Sealy, and then there's Sealy. Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of really good people.
And they have other guys like Eric Gibson's there.
Yeah,
on the
he
team.
Ain't gonna fit.
Yeah, maybe tough. It's gonna be tough. Okay. Talk about the snaps of someone. Meyer Shapiro.
Yeah,
this guy's got some. He is an absolute force. And Antrell Taylor, man. I mean, he had to win a tough mini tournament, beat Pinheiro. I'm excited to watch him next year. And then Meyer, there's another level, and it's Meyer right now.
Which I brought this up last week, Christian. It feels so weird because it's like we have 2, and I guess maybe you can even slide in a third guy that had a high level of NCAA success this year. Pinheiro Johnson pushed Yanni Diakomahalis to the limit, right, in the one match. Mm-hmm. He beat some other really good guys. Daniel Cardenas was a 6th seed. And then who's the other guy that I was thinking had some? Oh, Jackson Arrington was good, not great this year.
Yes.
And then it's just like Meyer's just a step above everybody.
Yeah, he has so much, right? He's got the physicality. He's got a really diverse skill set. I think he's got.
Seems like a gas tank, although he wasn't pushed hard, so not
tough
certain.
to know. It's tough to know. Is he scared to go 6 minutes because he just keeps ending the matches quick?
Another guy in this bracket who I think maybe did better than Open, Kyler Larkin. His match with Pinheiro was a lot of fun. Pinheiro came back and won it like right at the buzzer. Kyler almost stuck in the finals. I think Kyler beat Daniel Cardenas on the backside for 3rd place. He did 14-13. Yeah, it was a crazy match. I remember that. That was an impressive performance by him. So I would venture to guess he's going to be the starter for Arizona State at 57 next year would be my guess.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so I feel like this way is all about college prospects for next year because obviously Shapiro looks so good. Antrell Taylor, he had a weird freshman year. He was like 4-5 against D1 competition.
What?
Yeah. He
really?
Was 10-5 overall, but 4-5 against D1 competition. He did have some good opponents, like he lost to Kendall Coleman, but just weird that he didn't have a great first year. But I don't know, maybe it was a lot of those losses were early. Maybe it was getting down to weight. I'm not sure. So I'm really curious what he looks like next year. But then Larkin, he doesn't have a wrestle stat. He wasn't on Arizona State's roster this year.
He had surgery, I feel like, or something.
Okay.
So he did a gray shirt, I thought.
Yeah. So I think he still has 5 years to mess with if he wants to. But he beat Cardenas twice in this tournament. He also he had another win.
Front side too.
He beat Jackson Arrington too. So Larkin, I mean that's and I think
really strong tournament.
Both Larkins freestyle has always probably been their style where they've had more success than folk style, but still that's a guy that would be really helpful in the lineup.
Yeah, and we talk about that flip freestyle to folk style, and maybe I should have brought this up with Buzakis earlier, but he is generally a dominant point scoring machine on top in freestyle, whereas I don't believe that is the case in folk style. Like sometimes you got Spencer Lee who's
Yeah,
in
he's not
folk style he is?
Spencer. No, I mean not now. If you say Spencer Lee, no, but he's good
Well,
on
no
top.
one's Spencer Lee. Or
Yeah. He's.
yeah.
I think he's good with arm bars,
Okay.
cradles. He's decent on top. He'll turn some good dudes.
Okay. I haven't watched him wrestle a lot of folk style, but I mean, when we talk about Angelo Taylor, also like I never watched him wrestle folk style, only freestyle. So it's like maybe he's not a great mat wrestler, but I've seen him hit, and freestyle is mostly neutral, but I've seen him hit a couple like lace transitions and stuff also.
Yeah. Yeah, Antrell's losses were to Artelona, Alejandro Herrera, and Saldate and Coleman. So those 4 of his losses are solid. I don't know
Tough guys.
I don't know Peyton Keller though.
I think Peyton Keller's an NCAA qualifier, I believe.
Yeah,
but
he was 24-9. It's not bad.
Yeah, but no really good wins. I mean,
No.
the best win is probably Blaine Brenner, who's a tough Wisconsin kid, but has not cracked the starting lineup at Minnesota yet.
Minnesota. And then let's skip 74. I don't want to talk about this.
Oh man, did you see some of those moves he was doing? That was so much fun,
dude. The one I watched it so many times.
I'm gonna slap Tyler that because that move is. Do you got to explain this? I don't understand.
No, I don't know that move. I mean,
really?
it's just a feel. It's a feel. Yeah, I mean, he hit it, and I kind of like knew he hipped over him, but I didn't know exactly like what happened. So I said, JD guy, I want to see the move. Go back and play the one. The Vito hit in the NCAA finals. When Vito hit it, I'm like, that's a thing. We need to work on that. And then Mitchell hit it in the finals against Garvin. It was awesome.
What do you call it?
I don't bring it up on the screen. We'll show it. Well, not the hip over one. There's the hip over one. I played that. JD made me a little highlight. I asked him very nicely. It made me a little highlight that I posted. Not this one. Okay, this one was he was just being a ninja and stuff.
Yeah.
That one is crazy.
Was it match 1, Ben?
No, it's match 2. It's match 2. It's the 4-point move. There's a 2 and then a 4-point move right after that. It's that one.
Okay.
But we watched Vito. So I watched Noah Certain hit something similar actually in the Iowa State match, and then I was kind of trying in practice, and I couldn't freaking get it. And I was getting annoyed that I was like, I swear this is what he did. And then I watched Vito hit it in the NCAA finals against RBY, and I'm like, okay, this is a thing. And I've been kind of making my high school kids play with it. And so sometimes, like, one of the things I do is I'll just throw a hard move out there like that. And it's actually not as hard as I thought it would be. But, we're not going to spend a ton of time on it, but I'll throw it out there. And some of the kids who can, like, internalize moves really well, I only got to show them a couple times, and then they get a feel for it, and then they'll try it themselves in like, live snares or spar snares, and they'll pick it up.
So is it the one where he's on this Garvin's on the single, he's got a wizard and he pulls the near ankle? Okay.
Yeah.
Here I'll send it to T-Bone.
Okay. Yeah, that is very similar to what our Vito hit in the NCAA finals.
Got it.
Feeling his moves. Challenge tournament at 74 was fun though. Actually, Garvin almost lost first round to Tyler Lillard, I believe. Came back at the end and won that one. And then he had a crazy match with Riggins in the semis. Henkel upset Seeley first round. That was a really wild match. I guess I didn't really expect Henkel to be that competitive with Seeley. Had they not wrestled a whole bunch?
They have wrestled before. They have wrestled before, and Seeley's usually gotten the better of that. But Henkel,
that's what I thought.
Henkel's a Fargo champ. I mean, he beat Ladarian Lockett this year. Like he's on the level for sure. So I was surprised to see that.
Yeah. And he's still in high school. Those two are both still in high school next year, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Henkel's just a sophomore. He'll be a junior next year. Seeley will be a senior. But yeah, so like Henkel, I mean, he's one of those guys that he's just going to be starting to get recruiting calls next week. So
wait, you're saying he's only a sophomore?
Yes, he just finished his sophomore year.
What? He's that young?
Yep.
Okay.
And how's he?
We're pulling in the Mitchell thing.
Okay, pull it in.
All right, you can play from here, Tyler.
I can't.
You will be soon. From here's fine.
All right, sweet.
So he's going to get up here, and Garvin's going to end up on a single leg after this restart.
Oh, yeah.
You give a high, Coach Messemer.
Because we were just working on this, and he said something like, "Oh, perfect." And he went, "Yep, right there." And it was extra dramatic the way Garvin tried bridging off his free leg, made it look extra dramatic.
Look at that high five. Get that whole thing
I
one
know.
more time, Tyler.
That was so much fun because we had just been, playing around with it in practice, and then he went and nailed it. So yeah, as they pick back up, if you want to start back over, hold freeze right there. So as they get the single leg and as they try to lift the single leg, you use your kind of whizzer arm, so the Mitchell's left arm, go back into him, and then use your right arm to snag the ankle, and then continue drive. He's going to drive back into Garvin to put him backwards right there.
Man.
See, he's driving off that the right leg, the left arm's pulling down, right down and back,
man.
and then picking it up. And then that made it look. Usually they just fall, and that made it look really like strange because Garvin had such a big bridge off his free leg.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things you actually watch. Some things you watch, you're like, wow, how did they think of that? And then you watch something like this, you're like, how was this not a thing before? Because it's like a pretty common. It's a pretty common position. It's like single leg standing, shin whizzer. Like, I mean, you're there almost once a match, right?
Yeah.
And
once a match. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's going to become a thing. Although, I think obviously if the offensive man is expecting it coming, they would just have to kind of step that leg back out of the way a little bit. But that's kind of the same thing as a standing leg pass. All you got to do is move your leg, and it's been 15 years, and some people still can't figure it out. It's like, come on, dudes! Like, it's
sometimes
so simple.
I mean, I'm like sometimes baffled when I see it. It's like so obvious they're about to dive under, and then they leave it there.
It's so obvious.
It's so easy for me to say it, but like I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so I think this type of thing will become maybe semi-popular coming up. Yeah, you know what? I felt that way about the Winn-Dixie is like, oh my God, that was so easy. Why didn't I think of that earlier? And especially because I spent so much time in like a lifted inverted position with the person in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you think that. Jason Nolf, you son of a gun. I can't believe I didn't
Well,
think of that.
that's one I watched and I'm like, how did they think of this?
What? I'm like, when the first time he did it, I'm like, wait, how have I never done this before? This is so easy.
You and I have had slightly different wrestling experiences in our lives, but so far.
Yeah. I spent so much time in that position. It's just like, oh my God, how did I not think of this? Now I do it all the time.
Well, I knew Mesenbrink was going to have some good scoring sequences when I think his first 2 points of the tournament were from a Peterson underneath. Like he got that.
Oh, that was fun too. Yeah, that was really fun. He shot and he missed. And actually, Garvin had a spin behind, but didn't get all the way behind, and he Petersoned him.
Bro, that was a Buffalo Gap staple. Take a bad shot when they start to circle around. Boom, just get that wrist. They leave that hand. They leave that hand because they're going to the hip.
Yeah,
idiots.
Yeah, they go to the hip.
Peterson,
idiots.
Tricked them.
No,
that's
Petersons are kind of, once you start paying attention, they're kind of everywhere.
Yeah, your clip of you versus Jake was going around, and one of my old wrestlers sent it to me.
Herbert?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I retweeted it. Maybe you're right.
Yeah. He's like, what was this? Okay.
Peterson.
Yeah. Singleton.
Hey, Singleton, I brought up that last week when he entered the bracket. I'm like, this dude's a beast. He might go get it done.
You did.
He went and got it done.
He is a beast. He's really good. I mean, that was a tough bracket. He had to beat Josh Barr. I don't know who he wrestled before to get to Barr.
He beat Gaitan. He teched Gaitan and he teched Sima. Gaitan upset Piccolo. I thought Piccolo was going to be making it a little further also, and I think he did come back on the backside, but Gaitan beat Piccolo 6-6 in a wild one early.
Yeah. So that was a gauntlet for Singleton, and it went 3 matches, and Arnold was sitting out fresh, and Singleton got it done.
Yeah.
He's really good out of his underhooks, for sure.
Yes. That was kind of the story for me on this one, is that Arnold is not dynamic offensively, and so when Singleton got the lead, he could kind of just coast. And so in that match 1, he got the lead I would say immediately early.
Immediately.
30 seconds in.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, almost immediately. And then the last one it was a little longer, but I want to say he got a takedown and a gut, like back-to-back in the first period. And then, I don't believe in either of those matches. Hold on. Yeah, in none of the matches, Arnold wasn't able to score a takedown in 18 minutes of wrestling.
All ones.
So, I mean, dynamic, obviously defensively, he's very difficult and he's tricky. Positionally, he's good, but he really struggles to score takedowns. And he didn't get one takedown in any of the matches against Matt Singleton.
Yeah, it was a shot clock and a step out that won him match 2, Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest question with Gabe is like, is he gonna be able to generate enough offense at the next level?
Yeah. Especially we go back to that mat wrestling. If you're, in freestyle with him, it could be all neutral. But now if you're not great on bottom and you give up a ride time point, or if the other guy gets away, easy and you can't ride, now that it becomes harder to win matches. I guess maybe if he doesn't get turned, he doesn't give a ride time point anymore, huh?
Yeah.
Is that the new rule? Are those official now?
No. The vote is
this week,
3 days away. Yeah.
Oh, I hope the 3-point takedown gets voted out. It's so silly, so silly.
Oh my.
My brother actually made I'll tell you my brother's exact sentence. He actually brought it up. We traveled together this weekend. He said, and this was almost what I said verbatim. He said, this year's NCAA semis and finals were some of the most exciting I can remember. I can't believe they felt the need to change the rules for excitement. They must not have watched the matches. That was exactly what he said. Yeah.
Well, I choose to believe that it won't make things less exciting.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
So
I wouldn't be worried about excitement, Christian. I was worried about remember my statement was, number one, they were already excited, but number two, the right winner was almost always crowned, and you struggled to come up with a match where the wrong winner was crowned this year because of a poor scoring system.
That's impossible that I struggled.
You didn't? You couldn't come up with one. We're 2 months later, you still don't have one.
Yeah.
You never even came up like in the middle of the night, you woke up, you're like, wait, that was the match.
Seth
one was the wrong
Gross,
winner.
Tariq Wilson.
I thought Seth Gross won that one.
Yeah, I know. Tariq
why should he have
he
won?
had all the takedowns.
Like 8 takedowns or something.
It was like, no, it was just one. It was
8
just
takedowns, my butt.
He had 12 takedowns. No, I don't know.
Stop.
No.
But he would have needed how many to come back?
He had enough.
But you guys, you shouldn't have got put on his back.
I'm not saying he should have won the match. I'm saying it was one of the. Kozak went back and like rescored a bunch, and like that was one where it would have changed a winner. I'm not saying Seth shouldn't have won.
Got it.
You know what? We'll wait and see.
We had to go back like 6 years to find the wrong winner on one match.
That's crazy that was like almost 6 years ago. Another thing with Singleton, he did have a year in the room at NC State. That helps, right? As we saw with.
Although he didn't have a great year.
No. Well, that was part of the year of improvement,
Sure.
So that's an advantage.
Oh.
And Arnold getting to spend a year in Iowa is probably will definitely help him.
But I didn't realize. I actually thought he qualified for NCAAs. I didn't realize Matt Singleton did not qualify for NCAAs.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Dang, he was 2-2 at the ACCs, losing to Justin McCoy and Holden Heller, which both those guys are pretty tough.
And that was a big match for Georgia wrestling fans. It's like two flag bearers for that state moving forward into college. So that was good. Another guy though at 79 that I think is going to have a good career in college is Danny Wask. He lost in the first round to MJ Gaitan, and then he came all the way back and took third. He beat Gaitan, he beat AJ Heeg, he beat Tate Piccolo. I don't know if you want me to say he beat Noah Mulvaney, but he did.
He did. Mulvaney got so frustrated because he's the I'm gonna roast it. And Mulvaney's actually mowing my lawn today.
Wow.
For free because he made bad moves. No, I'm paying him. This dude got so frustrated. He just stood up and tried cutting away and got through him for 4 to finish the match.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness gracious. He got so frustrated. Yeah, Waska's he was tough. No, the match it was Riddle should have beat Bard. There was one sequence that they scored 2-2, which I don't believe should have been scored 2-2. And he lost 8-8, and that was the match. So Riddle beat Mulvaney. They had wrestled each other first round. It was a very competitive 10-7. And then I sure thought Riddle was going to beat Barr, and I think maybe he should have. He's getting a lot better. He's going to Minnesota next year. I'm excited. I'm more excited about my guys than other guys because I am biased.
Well, and then in the mini tournament final, Barr got that takedown and got one gut against Singleton and had it locked. And if he could have got it one more time, then it would have been him in the finals. He just couldn't get that gut the second time. It was
I
really
thought that
weird.
was weird, Bray, because I thought it looked like he kind of got that first gut easy. And then he just didn't send it again. But he had like, I want to say like 6 seconds left or something like that.
Yeah. It was when I was watching, I was like, oh, he's gonna get this, and then he did not.
I felt the same way, and then he kind of almost didn't go. You know, like he didn't just. I mean, you're losing. You just got to freaking send it at that point, right?
Yeah. That was weird.
Okay, next weight. Bennett Berge looked really good against Braden Thompson, who wins a lot of matches. Excited for Berge next year for South Dakota State. I think he's could be potentially an impact guy for that weight class. Yeah, he's on another team. Are you any other thoughts about Berge, Ben?
I'm gonna look up because I thought he had a decent year this year. Not great though, as I look up. So he lost to Parker Assad, Clayton Whiting, Isaiah Salazar, and Mikhail Foy. So not a great year, but yeah, I mean the second match kind of looked like Thompson packed in a little bit in that second match, but it was 10-0 in a minute or something like that. He looked really good. World silver last year. I got to think we're gonna get something similar out of him this year.
Yeah, I mean everyone he lost to is good. Foy, majored by,
but
when he's what?
They're good, but they're not like all of them. I don't think he lost to any All-Americans, did he?
No.
So yeah, I mean Salazar was probably the highest ranked guy. He was maybe a 10 or 11 or something this year.
Lost to Assad in sudden victory. I don't know. I think he's probably there. South Dakota State gets a lot of guys better.
Yeah,
and I think he's in a good situation to improve. So I look for him to do well next year.
I agree.
I'm not alarmed. I get alarmed when I don't know the people they've lost to, and there's a couple of those. Yeah. I'm like, this may not go great. But if you're in the matches, you can make a lot of gains if you're in the right place, and I believe he is.
I agree.
Jack Dara makes the team at 92.
Well, I want to brag on my guy Connor Mirasola. I told you I'm biased already.
I was going to ask you about
Mirasola upsets the number one guy in the country, Max McAnally, 10-3.
Yeah,
but he can't get over the dang Braden Thompson hump.
So I was a little surprised that he teched Whiting 10-0 as well. Were you surprised by that, or did you see that?
I was also, because they went back and forth. Clayton won the first one at Vegas, and then Connor won in the 5th place match, I believe. So yeah, I was surprised by that. Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, it's good to see Rylan Rogers have a pretty good weekend. He was 4th. I wonder where he fits for Michigan next year. I mean, 84. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to think. But like when he's wrestling well, so that's good.
From Kozak, Nagao Orini would have gone to overtime at this year's NCAAs with the new scoring.
Who would have?
Nagao and Kai Orini. There you go.
Kozak. He does he have an algorithm where it runs every match for him with the new scoring system?
You love the word algorithm, Ben. I don't know.
Great word.
I wouldn't put it past him.
What else would you call that? If you didn't call that an algorithm, what else would you call that? Program?
Yeah, program. That would
work.
Got it. Okay, so Mirasola did good.
Baby.
Good job, Ben.
It's mostly Max, but
good job, Max.
The other one did good too. The other one beat Wyatt Volker twice and beat Gavin Nelson, number 2 guy in the country, to finish 3rd. So we're happy with both Mirasolas. They battled hard. Stephen Little from Arkansas Little Rock, he's pretty impressive. He did not get it done against Jack Dara, but he's tough. I think he's going to do well next year for them.
Yeah, good for Coach Arisman and the Little Rock Trojans. Took a match and then lost 2 to Dara. Keeping it moving here. Camden.
Although 97 is going to be deep, so some of these bigger guys, they're going to have a hard time doing well because 97 so freaking good next year.
Yeah, and now Brooks and Hidley move up just to make it crazier. Tougher. Yeah, already a tough weight. Deep, very deep weight. Now you have that huge favorite. And of course, who knows? Maybe AJ Ferrari will be in the mix next year.
Possible. Well, you heard some rumors or something, or you just guessing?
Well, he obviously will go to Iowa if he's cleared to wrestle at NCAAs.
Yeah,
That's pretty obvious,
that's
right?
obvious. Yeah,
So
but it's not obvious that he's going to be cleared to wrestle in NCAAs. So
that
I
is
thought
not.
maybe
I do
you
not
were
believe
hearing
that to be.
something.
I don't know that.
Okay.
I don't believe that to be obvious at this point.
Okay, fair. I agree.
Okay.
Or if he chooses, right? Because he may just choose to do, even if he were to be cleared, then maybe he would choose to do MMA instead, because that's apparently something he's been pursuing.
That would surprise me, personally.
Really? Because you
If
think
he was
wants
cleared to
that
wrestle
bad,
in
or what?
NCAA, if he was cleared to wrestle NCAAs and didn't, that would surprise me 100%.
Okay. All right. Fair.
But it wouldn't surprise you.
Well, I just think it's like, well, here's why it wouldn't surprise me, because it feels like it's been what a year or a year and a half now where he's been kind of like, I don't want to say pursuing that, but like doing that. And it's
Mhm.
like, if he really wanted to wrestle, I would say like, well, why haven't we seen him at any of the USA wrestling stuff? Because I don't believe he's precluded from competing in those events,
I
right?
don't
So he could
know.
have went and wrestled at the US Open or stuff like that. And it's like,
Uh,
if you want to be a really competitive wrestler, and you had not given up that path, I feel like that's what you would do.
yeah, but I also do wonder if he might have been precluded from wrestling in that. It's possible,
Really?
right? It's possible. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the rules. I never heard that.
Um,
It's also like if you just look at how AJ and Anthony and Angelo have chosen to compete over the
True.
course of their careers, they're not guys that are like trying to get 100 matches a year. They're not guys that are showing up
But
at
surely
every.
it's got to be a number greater than zero.
I mean, I think for AJ and for Anthony, there was an entire year stretch where it was zero, like where they didn't wrestle at all.
So he hasn't, but AJ wouldn't have wrestled a match since what, January of 2022,
Yeah,
right? Something
yeah,
like that. So I
yeah.
would have just thought like, man, he would have found some way to get some matches. If that's really what he wanted to do. And so that the way I was thinking was like, well, maybe he just moved on and said like, F that. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm gonna go try to do this fighting thing and move on.
It's a real possibility. I talked to him last week when I was up there for Angelo's commitment, and he, he's not like he's not 100% guaranteed to come back to wrestling. It's like I think everyone's trying to read him and read between the lines, and there is a very real possibility that he pursues fighting. And like if you follow his Instagram, you can tell he's training jujitsu, he's working striking, and he said he really does like fighting. He likes the idea of fighting, so I think it could go either way. I do think if he gets the opportunity and he's got both his brothers there and they could all be in the lineup
Yeah.
like that would be I think that would be pretty appealing, but um you know he said he doesn't know.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
So, 97 kilos, Camden McDaniel, 2 straight over Stephen Burrell. And then bringing it home, Christian Carroll, 2 quick techs at 125 kilos.
Yeah. I'm sad we didn't get Ben Keeter in the lineup, but I think when you think about him, they probably want him to play football. And then the other one I was thinking about, who hasn't competed in a while, and I've kind of asked you this, Christian. You've been elusive with an answer.
Oh,
But Nick Feldman, why didn't we see him?
I've not been elusive. He got injured.
You're so elusive.
He had a bad injury that prohibited him from wrestling. He's getting healthier and ready, and
Okay.
yeah, there's no. I've
You've
told
been
you
elusive.
I've told you
Sneaky.
multiple times he's injured.
But you haven't said like, oh, he had like an ACL, so he's out for 9 months, or he had a labrum tear, so he's out for 9. Like no one said that. People have like alluded to the fact that he might be injured, but I don't know nothing else.
Neck.
Okay. Well, sometimes those take a little while. Sometimes they don't. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Because it would be interesting to see him in there. Christian Carroll, he rolled up Aiden Natal, which Aiden Natal has gotten a lot better than he was before. He beat Coy Hopke in the finals of the mini tournament.
Mhm.
He also beat Carter Neves, who was, I want to say he might have been a world team member, or maybe he lost in the finals last year. And then he kind of had a battle with Bradley Hill in the second round also. But Yeah, I was impressed by Aiden Atau. I think does he have one more year of high school or is he done
This is it. He's going to Oregon State next year.
next year? Okay.
They got wrestle him
Yeah.
on Wonder right away, or give him a year.
I would give him a year. Feels like he's getting a lot better. He still looks like doesn't have any facial hair, still looks pretty young. Whereas like Christian Carroll's got hair all over his chest, so he might be ready to go right away. We saw it because he took his
It's a
signal off
wonder.
and-
I mean, how did
gave him a
AJ
yellow card.
Ferrari? How did AJ win as a true freshman? No chest hair. Just
That's more impressive. More impressive. he went
even
without
more
chest hair.
impressive. Even more impressive. The legend grows. Yeah, yeah. Good point. Pendleton just gonna sit him down like, listen, man, your chest hair is a disgrace.
No, he's not. No
What-
facial hair. Nothing. There's
Aiden.
nothing there.
What are you doing? He's like, I thought you were serious about wrestling. And you're gonna come here.
Shut up,
you're
Christian.
gonna come into my wrestling room and say you want to wrestle right away with no chest hair, no facial hair. Where's your
You
mustache?
gotta get some facial. You gotta get at least a few whiskers or something.
You gotta get something. You gotta let it go.
Yeah.
All right, Aiden. There's your challenge. You know your growth areas.
He's got a little.
He got a
little
little
5 o'clock shadow.
He got a little stubble.
I'm looking at it.
Aiden Atau?
Oh,
I looked
yeah.
at him. There's no facial hair there.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna,
What picture are you looking at?
I'm looking at Super 32. I'm gonna.
He looks like
He done
baby
had it.
face.
He had it in Greensboro.
He never shaved in his life. No 5 o'clock shadow.
I'm sending this to Tyler. We'll let the people be the judge.
Let the people. You know what? That's what we'll let the people decide.
You might have doctored
Can-
the photo. We don't know, Bray.
Start a poll, Tyler. Can Aiden Atau grow facial hair? There's a lot riding on this. Pendleton is going to be making roster decisions based on the results of this poll. You guys are pulling the strings.
Gracious. You guys are
There's-
goofy.
There's a 5 o'clock shadow for sure. You're gonna see. You're gonna see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
This guy shaves.
Well, let me ask you this question.
guy
It's
shaves.
more important than does Aiden Atau has he ever shaved in his life? Bro, he is not shaved. Look at that little baby face.
Freezing enhanced. Freezing enhanced.
Look at that baby face. He ain't never shaved in his life.
I think you're looking at the wrong guy. Look at
That-
that.
look at that.
Look at this.
What is that?
That's a sideburn. That ain't facial hair.
look
no,
below it.
no,
Look.
no.
Look at
That's
this.
right here.
Look at
No, not right here. There's nothing right there. I see nothing. Nothing there.
Ben. You're embarrassing yourself on live TV.
This guy shaves. Shaves all the time.
Man.
Just maybe a little bit of sideburn right here. That's all I see right there.
Someone get a hold of Aiden Atau and just have him send a picture of his.
Have him don't shave for like a week and see what it looks like.
That
'cause
is
I don't believe
most
there's gonna be anything
stubbly.
there besides a couple sideburns.
Yeah.
If it is a 3-day weigh-in, he is dry shaven in the weigh-in line each morning
Yep.
because this guy.
Yeah. He is bearded up.
All right, I got a more important question for you two. How many medals did we bring back from Warsaw, Poland for the men's freestyle U20 team?
Well, they gonna let the Russians in. That will.
Are they is that for done for real?
No, I'm inquiring. I'm saying that will depend.
Oh.
I feel good about. Here's who I feel very confident will medal. Meyer, Mitchell. That's like very confident. Like
That's it.
Write it down. They're medaling, and then
I
there's
feel
like
Berge also. I feel like the international weight classes are a little bit weaker up
that's
top.
true.
But I don't like that we don't have a super. I don't feel super great about our 92 or 97, and I don't like that because those are generally easier weight classes to medal at. And then heavyweight is actually kind of a little bit of a harder one, especially got some of those Iranian or the Russian in there. Man, this might be a tough one.
Yep.
I gotta think Lilidol though, because Volk
100%.
Volk was a medalist last year. I gotta think Lilidol gets in there. He was also a U17U medalist. And then I don't know. I think between Mendez and Bouzakis, I'm gonna say I would bet on at least one, but potentially two.
I feel like 57 through 74. I feel good about a lot of their chances. I feel very confident. Although I say Mitchell, but freaking 74 can be a really tough weight class sometimes.
Yes,
at this.
for sure.
So I mean, Keegan had to beat a freaking senior level ranked guy, and
that guy
really
took
tough
fifth
Russian.
at the Olympics.
Yeah, so that's as confident as I am in Mitchell.
Yeah, he's just so much better than he was last year. He got a silver last year, so I would have a hard time.
Yeah,
seeing him not get a medal. 79, I think Singleton. I don't. I'd say moderately confident.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I was at 70 sometimes, and I don't know why this is the case, but it feels like even with the juniors weights, sometimes the non-Olympic weights they spend less money on, which at the junior division doesn't make any sense to me because it's like, well, I mean, these are juniors. You don't know what they're going to develop into or what size they're going to grow a weight class or whatever. But it does seem like even the participants in the brackets are less at the non-Olympics.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
It does seem like
Yeah.
61 tends to be pretty deep of the non-Olympic weights. That one a
Yeah.
lot of times is like really good. So that, but yeah, I think the other ones.
Lots of
does
times
seem
it feels like
that's-
92 feels like super weak lots of times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get to much U23s today.
We got to do Final X preview on Thursday or Wednesday. We're going Wednesday this week.
Wednesday this week, because we're flying Thursday. Yes, it is Final X week. It is here finally. Lucky us. Cannot wait for Final X. Do we want to touch on some U23 stuff before we?
I mean, some of these brackets weren't great, but there were some fun finals. I would say the most fun final match was probably Dustin Plott beating Carson Karchla
twice.
because twice. And that was something we were anticipating because we said, okay, Karchla is going to 174 next year. He's going to be in his new weight class. How is he going to look there? And then, Plott kind of runs him over as the match goes on in both cases.
Yes, he did. I mean, he was down 9-0 and got laced up, lost 18-9. Did Harshla, don't try to change me. And then lost via injury 10-10, where Carson raced out to a pretty big lead again and then suffered an injury and then had to default. So not.
And that one he was up 8-2. Yeah,
something like
8-2.
Yeah, he was up like 6 points there. So that was. Speaking of leads, DJ Washington wins match number 1 over Fishback, 11-0, and then gets up big in the next 2 matches, and Fishback runs him down.
Oh my goodness,
he's impressive, Fishback.
Fishback's gonna be good.
Yeah. Kozak doesn't think he's gonna be good. I'm just kidding.
That was one of the more surprising heated arguments in the office that day. You guys were
What happened?
So he was just so, Kozak. He's so sure of himself, unlike me. It's like, so I contended that their best lineup was Hidley 84, Trumbull 97. He says no, Fishback 84, Hidley 97. And then it went back and forth for a little bit, and I was like, Isaac Trumbull would score more points at NCAAs next year than Dylan Fishback would. And he is rarely adamant about something, but he was like adamant that I was so wrong. And this was like a couple weeks after he was adamant that Trumbull was going to do big stuff at NCAAs, and they drafted him on his fantasy team. And that's what this is all about, his fantasy disappointment. And he's too clouded by that result to look at the big picture.
But hold on. Isn't the big piece of the argument here the difficulty of the brackets? I mean, next year 97 is going to be freaking stacked. But you would still think Hidley is good enough to place relatively high, and 84 is going to be. It's not going to have that much depth because you took 2 of the best guys out of the weight class.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so I would say Fishback. I'll take Fishback at 84 for 500, Bob.
Well, unfortunately, Trumbull won't get to wrestle in the tournament, so there's no way to be proven right or wrong here.
Well, what if Hidley gets hurt? Then we would know.
Well, we'll see what seed what seed Fishback gets, because Trumbull was like a
5 or something,
5 or 6 seed.
Yeah.
The seeds
are
are
All American though.
No, he didn't. But your seed is a pretty good indication of where you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I like Dylan Fishback, but I thought because it got a little kooky there. But no.
How about our man? What can I read this stat line to you?
Oh, let's go.
Henderson Tech
Carnage.
Fall, 29 seconds. Tech Fall, 32 seconds. Tech Fall, 2 minutes 23 seconds. Tech Fall, 1 minute 19 seconds. And then in the finals, he had 2 Tech Falls, of which were 1 minute 7 seconds and 2 minutes. Just
Insane.
a freaking wrecking ball.
He is a literal wrecking ball. He is preposterous. Wyatt Hendrickson We don't deserve a heavyweight like Wyatt. He is so fun and so
Seriously.
good. How about the GOAT Nick Stimmett? He tried,
Oh yeah, that.
and it counts. Made the team.
Okay, I don't want to be offensive or nothing. His bracket was not very good.
What are you talking about? Samuel Mitchell was a top 4 seed at the U.S. Open.
What place did he take at NCAAs?
This is for
And I don't want to be
freestyle.
offensive because this is a Wisconsin kid right here.
Sorry if
but
that's offensive.
Sorry if that's offensive.
I'm not trying to offend nobody.
I know. I know. That's good. Yeah, not the greatest weight, but you know what? I think that's the Nick Stimmett effect. People see him enter a
my
bracket.
gosh.
It's like, let's disperse. That's what I maintain. How about the Cerber Cardenas series was crazy. They both 10-0'd each other. And then in the middle, they had an 18-15 match.
That's ridiculous.
That's wild. Cerber beat Silas Allred. Very good match.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm looking at Sam Mitchell. It actually was a little better than I thought. He was 20-8 and was 3-1 at the max, but did not qualify for NCAAs.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I know we already talked about Wyatt Hendrickson, but I think it's worth appreciating that he has a belly-to-belly back arch in his arsenal now. I don't know if he's always had
Are
that.
we going to put it on the screen or what? Because
I would love
you
to.
made me watch that, and it was tremendous.
Did you send it to him?
I
Or no,
sent it to
it was
Tyler.
Spay and JD that made me watch it.
I put it in the chat for Tyler. But I don't know what's more impressive, the back arch itself or the fact that the top comment on the post is Wyatt Hendrickson saying Captain Insano shows no mercy.
He said that?
Yeah.
Now he was already my favorite wrestler, and now he beat Keegan O'Toole now. If Wyatt Henderson and Keegan O'Toole wrestled, I'm cheering for Wyatt.
Wow, Captain, he does show no mercy.
There we go.
Look at this guy. All right, we're about to pull it into your screen.
Where? There's this chat. Wait, where's this chat at?
Oh no.
Oh, we gotta log in or something. Jeez Louise. Boom.
Yeet.
Bam!
Oh my god.
Gosh.
Legend.
He's got to relax.
Oh my gosh. When you pause this, the guy's feet were literally straight in the air.
Oh my gosh.
If
Can you imagine how scary that is? It'd be
Oh my
horrifying.
Oh yeah.
it
Your
happens so fast, you're just on your back and you're like, what happened to me? I'm not sure, but I know I'm laying on my back right now.
So David was bringing up before the show, Oklahoma State kind of portaled their way to a pretty tough looking lineup potentially next year after having a historically tough NCAA showing last year. So yeah, Spratley at 20, Spratley Fix, and then 41 will be interesting. Young is redshirting. I think that's all but been announced. So it'll be either tagging Jameson or Sammy Alvarez, which I think Jameson looks like the real deal. Jordan Williams, 49. 57 as a whole right now. I think Olenek, 65. Plot, 74. Whitlake, 84. Cerber, 97. And then the combination of Doucette or Christian Carroll.
I don't want to be offensive. I don't want to be offensive here, but
that's
that's kind of what I do on the show. I think is, but who in this lineup is going to be top 4? Because that's what you need to say. So Fix, and then Plot.
That's what I mean, maybe Plot, not necessarily Plot.
Plot could be. I mean, he's probably your second most likely on the board here, right?
Yes, I think they're going to have some interesting dual meets, and I think they're going to have to show out at NCAAs to be top 10. But it looked for a little bit. I mean, look at what this team would have been without Olejnik transferring in, with Carter Young definitely redshirting, without the 2 transfers, 3 really, with Alvarez. That's outside the top 20 team in all likelihood.
Yeah, that was where I was thinking. It was like they just had their worst performance in history, and how are they going to do better than that? Like how? And you look at it, and it's possible. And then 84 for Whitlake gets a lot easier. We already mentioned like 2 of the top guys moving out of that weight class. So
but wait, how did he only won like 1 match in NCAAs, correct?
Whitlake?
It was not good.
It wasn't good, but him at his best, you got to imagine he can outperform that. So, and then Cerber, Cerber,
Cerber's not bad. He had good wins.
Good wins. He beat Rocky Elam last year. He just had that good weekend, beat All Red. So I don't know. I think this could be definitely a much better lineup than the one they had before they hit the portal.
Interesting.
Anyone else you guys are forgetting about that could potentially start? G Feller, maybe G Feller's got another year.
Maybe they get frantic. Maybe they go get frantic.
Frantic at the disco.
I mean, you got to think they're bidding on some of these guys, right? Whether it's Frantic or Caliendo or something like that. I feel like
they got their auction paddles in the air on these guys.
All right, hey, let me pitch some at you guys.
Pitch it.
I got a couple good ideas. I'm only probably gonna get one good idea in today, but I feel like there's some rich dudes out there. It's obviously rich dudes that are spending this much money to get these guys because there's no way that these teams are generating their own revenue to bid on these guys. What I'm hearing, from whether it's Frantic or Caliendo or Truex or Nagao, what some of these teams are bidding, and there's a handful, right? There's not a lot of these teams, but I feel like some of these rich dudes that are giving all this money because they're excited and it's the first couple of years of this system happening. After a while, they're gonna be like, man, I spent $500,000 in the last couple of years, and you guys aren't any better.
Yeah.
Why am I going to keep spending all that money? Like, don't you think that's going to happen? Like, surely rich guys don't just want to keep wasting their money.
Surely. You're right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. Okay. Let's move to.
Well, you want to hear my other stupid idea? If we're done, I thought we were gonna. I thought we were gonna talk about that one more. I got another dumb idea. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe this could be applicable to freestyle, but I would think folk style also. Okay, I was thinking about this because in freestyle, you have unlimited injury time, and sometimes you'll have these guys like clearly faking injury. I don't remember who it was I was watching. I was standing next to James Green, and I said, "Oh, that dude's faking injury." And James Green didn't like my idea, but maybe you guys will like it. And I said, in a wrestling match, freestyle, sometimes they'll say you're faking injury, and they'll give it a caution and one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes they'll say, no, you actually get as much time as you want, which seems completely ridiculous and arbitrary. And in folk style, sometimes there's legitimate. Like you need a few seconds, you get poked in the eye or something, right? Or you get a quick stinger and you need a few seconds. And if you actually call the injury time, then the other person gets choice, which is a huge penalty. What if you got like one or maybe two, like a 20-second, I get to, get my crap together type second to think about how I want to continue? Because I was thinking, what injuries could you possibly have that you would need more than 20 seconds to make a decision on, can I compete the remainder of this match? What do you guys think about that? No penalty, but you only get two. And if you need more than two, then you just lose. You're done. The match is over. I'm sorry.
What do you think, David?
Yeah, I mean, there are. I guess I don't know. There are times where a trainer is checking like the structural integrity of the knee or something like that. But generally, yeah, you don't need that much time. I don't know. Yeah, more than two injury times and you're done. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I was thinking the argument would be with the knee is like, they need to have a great opinion on whether they should continue or not. But then I was also thinking, it's like, I don't know, like they're not actually gonna make an actual diagnosis on the mat.
Yeah.
Right. They're not gonna say, oh, here's actually what's wrong with you, because you would need an MRI or other things. So it's like, can you wrestle or not? And if you can't, you lose, get out of here. And if you can, then step back on the line. And then that would solve everything. And we don't penalize someone who actually needs, like the worst one is when someone pokes someone in the eye and you need time and then you give up choice. But it's like, wait, they poked you in the eye, which is a semi-illegal maneuver, right? It's a hands to the face. You give up choice because of it? That's super dumb.
I agree with that. I don't like that.
So, yeah.
You're always thinking.
I know there's some people who I've competed against in the past who would intentionally poke in the eye. And, if you're one of those guys, then it's like, well, now you're getting choice because you did something that's illegal.
Mm-hmm. You're right, Ben.
I don't like it.
I know. So it's Final X week, but Bray and I have we got a thing.
Uh-oh.
Ben, and this is a kind of a funny story because it involves me, David, my son, Caleb, and Doug Schwab. Okay?
Whoa.
We're all connected. And so we are in a fantasy baseball league, Ben.
Oh, yeah.
And
What?
Yeah.
Doug Schwab plays fantasy baseball.
He play?
He plays fantasy baseball harder than you would believe.
He plays Iowa style fantasy baseball. He loves baseball.
I would have never ever guessed that. Wait, is Shane Sparks in this league?
No.
You
Guys.
guys are buttholes.
Yeah.
You guys are buttholes for not letting Shane start.
I'm sure he's been invited. Hold on. First of all, this is not my league. It's Andy Hamilton's league. I am certain Andy Hamilton would love
Andy
nothing
Hamilton,
more.
you are a lowlife.
I'm sure that Shane has not declined being in this league, for one. The mere fact that I'm in it is one. Okay, so fantasy baseball is as David has once described, a death march. It is a ridiculous thing. So I maybe have a slight lack of institutional control over my team because my son, Caleb, is obsessed with baseball and is constantly trying to improve the team. And I don't know any of these players or anything about
Well, hold
them.
on. So I thought you and Caleb had different teams. You guys are the same team.
No, we are co-managing.
Caleb's the GM.
Caleb's the GM. I'm the owner. But he's making all the moves, which is what gets us into a little bit of hot water. So Caleb, we were struggling a little bit, but he's like, we've scratched and clawed our way back. And Caleb was going for a sleepover with the Braves the other night, and he tells me before he leaves, he said, I'm gonna get a deal done. He's like, I'm gonna make a trade happen no matter what. I'm like, well, all right, but make sure it's good and whatever. So he has an idea for a trade in mind, and then as he describes it, the Braves are too scared. He's like, Dad, they are so scared. And so then they end up making a trade. I don't know anything about it. They end up making a trade that is so incredibly lopsided for David, and it gets we're giving away like two great players for like, I don't know, someone not great.
Who's having a good first couple months of the year?
Who's having a good, a little stretch here, to the point where Andy just kind of like rubber stamps and lets the he's more of a capitalist, he just kind of lets the two consenting parties just agree. But Doug Schwab, to both of our fortunes,
yes,
as it will turn out, was not happy about this, and there was an official protest. I think two Schwabs were involved.
Official protest?
Yes.
There was an official protest. So
what's wrong with you guys?
I get a phone call yesterday from Andy Hamilton, and he goes, got a little bit of a situation, to which I was like,
you guys are ridiculous.
To which I said, please let this be about fantasy baseball. So they basically, come to find out, we did a really stupid trade. Caleb did a dumb trade just because he's a 12-year-old and wanted to make moves. And it got protested, and then ultimately the trade was rescinded.
Yeah. And it ended up being a good thing for us, too. So our team is like...
on what grounds did Doug Schwab use to protest this trade?
So there is prior precedent of people in my situation giving away expensive players for prospects in order to have like more keepers and benefits. It's a little nuanced, but it's not what was going on here. Caleb just wanted to get a better pitcher and would trade away, his sister to get one.
Yeah,
as it turns out.
And it was funny because my team, my son helps, and then my dad now is involved. And my dad,
we are asleep at the wheel.
My gosh, you guys are 3 people to run the team. What's going on?
Oh my gosh! Look, Tyler just put up a hilarious meme. Yeah, it's a real Jonah Hill Brad Pitt situation. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So ultimately, we're not involved.
The panic for us was, so my dad just retired, by the way, so he is on it. He's like,
this is his full-time job now.
He's managing the team, and he's like feeling pretty good about this trade. But then the problem is all these players have salaries attached to them. So after the trade went through, we were way over the salary cap because we got 2 awesome players for like a $1
player.
So then my dad's like, oh man, we gotta move some people. We gotta so we're trying to move lineups around and everything, and it ended up being the best that it just got pulled back.
Do you have the DM that Caleb sent you? Caleb afterwards is like, he's simultaneously like embarrassed but also raging that he couldn't get a good trade done, and that his trade has resulted. So then he sends a message, and we have new policy on our team now. He can't make any trades without me approving them.
I need official approval. You need to come here and we're going to vote on it.
I don't remember the exact message he sent Bray over the fantasy DM.
I'm trying to figure out how to find those DMs.
Look at the little mailbox.
This thing, yeah, I did, and it just.
Oh, so all I know is
there's no recent messages.
All I know is the text started well, which lets you know he means business. And then I'm here getting ready for radio this morning, and at 7:30, I get a voice memo from Caleb. Look, he's already at it.
And send the message that said, "Where are you?" I'm looking.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Hey, Dad, can I send a trade? So this trade is Yoshida for George Kirby, who is a starting pitcher with a 3.04 ERA, a 1.01 WHIP, 5 wins, and 58 strikeouts. Can I send it?
So that's I'm trying to get
I
ready for
can't
this
believe
show.
you're putting your kid on blast like this, Christian. This is wrong.
Oh, he's gonna love it. I mean, listen, he's this isn't on blast. How many other 12-year-olds are knowing the whip of George Kirby? I don't know who George Kirby is.
George Kirby, who the hell is that? I don't watch baseball. Oh my gosh, this is so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. But yeah, we have to thank Doug Schwab. Doug Schwab thought that David took advantage of my son, but
Oh, there's George Kirby. Look at him. He's kind of scrawny looking.
yeah, I guess he can throw that ball. Oh, look at him. Yeah, there he is. He's a Mariner. So anyway,
I found the message.
okay.
Well. It seems like
my
you guys must think you can reject the fair trade and counter with a very unfair trade, knowing that I just want to make a trade. I guess you guys do not care about taking advantage of me like you did.
It's so funny.
Oh my god.
He was yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta find last thing, and then we can go. He said yesterday. He's talking about it a bunch. Where does he go? He goes, I just want to point out I brought the team into 5th place. We wouldn't be there without me, which is factually true. We were in like last, and he's scratched and clawed his way to the. So it was a wild evening. Apologies
Last
to Coach
place Piles.
Apologies,
Jeez.
no 5th place. We're clawing.
No, you were in last place. You were in last place.
Oh yeah, I don't know any of these people. It is all Caleb.
Wait, hold on. So if you don't know how to do baseball, why did you get yourself in a fantasy baseball league?
Because my son loves baseball.
Oh, but why wasn't he helping from the beginning then?
He has always been helping. He helped draft the team.
Oh.
I helped with the draft, and then pretty much it. I literally haven't even logged in. I had to find my login. I'm still not logged in actually. So yeah, he's doing all the work. So actually, I will thank Doug Schwab because he improved our team because my son was just.
I gotta thank Doug Schwab because he made a bad protest this weekend, and my guy got 2 more points out of it too. So Doug, you're helping everybody. You're so generous.
he's gonna be fired up.
Oh, it was unfortunate. Our guy got 2. It went 2-0, and he protested. Max and I were both like, "Oh, why did you throw that brick?" And he wanted 2-2, and they went 4-0.
Oh wow!
Well,
Ouch.
That's a big ouch.
Thanks, Doug.
A sincere thanks from us. And with that, we can go. We'll be back Wednesday.
that's it.
David won't be here, but JD will, probably. Ben will be here. It's Final X week, and we hardly even talked about Final X. Other than it's happening Saturday, June 10th. Prudential Center. Tickets still available for now. So make sure you get those. And of course, you can watch every match live on Flow. We will be back Wednesday. Have a great Monday and a great week. It's going to be a great week. Thanks, guys. See ya.